Hey, welcome everyone to tonight's call. This is going to be such a blast. So good to see a whole lot of names that I love and appreciate so much, and some that we were able to see in person. We just had a live in-person event in Auckland on Sunday night. Super fun getting together with our community. Massive shout out to those who drove more than an hour. I know Zeph probably wins that award for driving 4 hours from Taupo to be in the room with us. But it was so fun to meet some of you face to face and to be able to just share the evening together, learn a bunch of stuff, grow our minds, grow our skills. And tonight we want to take that further. So number one question I got was, what crypto are you guys most excited about looking into and why? And so I was chatting to Damon this afternoon. I thought, hey, why don't we just do a Zoom about it and just invite everyone on and talk about the projects that we like the most and go from there. And so I'm going to bring Damon on shortly. In the meantime, just want to catch up on the chat and see what's going on here. So good to see so many of your names in there. Guys, seriously, it's so fun, especially see you guys on Go Live early in the morning sometimes. You know, we've got a lot of us are tuned in to some professional educators learning behind the scenes in an academy that's been around for almost 11 years. A well-established platform with over 100 professional educators that are all vetted. The only reason they have jobs is because they have to prove that they're good enough to do what they do. So really fun learning from those guys in a non-YouTube environment where you might be watching this right now. But yeah, no one's checking on me and my crazy ability to be able to trade and invest. But these guys are. And so they don't teach on YouTube, they teach privately, and that's where we're all learning behind the scenes. And so if you want more info on that, maybe we'll get to that later. But for now, we just want to give you guys a ton of value this evening on what you can expect in this crypto space right now. We're in an amazing time. I mean, even right now, what's going on with the fiat currency system, and, you know, drop the word petro in the chat if you know what's going on with the petrodollar right now and what's going on there. 50-year contract that just expired, where Saudi Arabia basically, the way that they purchase oil, the way America purchases oil and the US dollar, the petrodollar, it's a thing. 50-year contract that just ran out yesterday, and it doesn't look like they want to renew it. So there's a whole lot of things shifting in the financial landscape right now. That plus a ton of elections going on, a possible future president will who's very crypto pro, we'll put it that way, accepting payments in crypto, which is pretty massive news, guys. And so we're in the season where I believe we're still very, very early. It's easy to get upset looking back and think, oh, I'm late, but actually, you're very early. And so tonight, I'm going to show you a couple things. I'm going to quickly show you a little something which one of our educators demonstrated. And once you see this, you cannot unsee this. And I'm doing this because I want to show you how it's not a scary place. It's way more predictable than you think. And, you know, nothing's a given, and, you know, history doesn't repeat itself, but it sure does rhyme. But I'm going to show you how it actually has repeated itself to some degree. So I'm going to dive straight into it this evening and screen share. Let me just get that out the way and share my chart for a second. So this right here, if I can share the right chart, is TradingView. Free website, tradingview.com, that you can jump on and you can go and look at, you know, the price of anything. And so right now what we're looking at here is Bitcoin. This is a BLX chart, and every single one of these candles, you can see the coloring on them. Let me just drag this a little wider. I think I can get away with a bit of a wider screen here on the recording. So each of these candles represent right now a day. So a blue one means that price opened low and closed higher on the day. Pink, purple, whatever you want to call it, means the price opened high and closed low. So this is showing the price change in Bitcoin since, you know, right there's May 2020, and here is recently April 2024. These white lines represent the halving. So what is the halving? Well, basically every 4 years, there's something built into the code of Bitcoin which causes half of the reward that is sent to the miners, the computers around the world that are decentralized, that make up the network. The reward that they receive gets cut in half every 4 years. What that does is it causes a supply shock, and it causes the next bull run. As you can see what happened to price not long after that line. So this is the price of it. I'm actually going to zoom out further and click W right now. Now it's a weekly chart. So now every single line, every candle represents a week. And I'm just going to pull up the chat so I can still see that, and I'll reference it as we go. But double checking, yeah, we are recording, we're all good. But guys, here, looking at this, you can see here these white lines, right? These represent the halvings that we've had: 2012, 2016, 2020, 2024. And I want to show you this really quickly, show you the cycles. Right now it looks like, you know, price has done massive things, and these previous cycles look almost non-existent down here. That's because we're looking at this chart in a standard view. And if we swap this, you click down the bottom to logarithmic, it changes the entire view to show the adoption more like this is how you view asset adoption over time. And so this is actually a really profound way to look at this, because now as we zoom in, we see how profoundly the curve of growth has been. And we can do the same things by, let me just click this on auto. If we zoom in, and that looks pretty similar when we zoom into price today. So when I say price is predictable, guys, I mean, I'm going to start with this. I'm going to show you something about Fibonacci, which you've never heard about Fibonacci. Go and Google it. The Fibonacci number sequence you can see right here. really came about with this thing called the perfect triangle. Sorry, perfect rectangle. Let's get my geometry straight. And in that, how these squares, rectangles could be cut in half and half and half and half, and there's a numbered sequence as well, which goes 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, and Dad rattled off every single number into the thousands on Sunday night. But it's basically taking the previous number, adding it to the next, and then moving forward. So 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 3 is 8, 8 plus 5 is 13, etc. And that number is seen throughout creation in the expansion and growth of everything, whether it's a sunflower, whether it's a galaxy, whether it's the bones in your fingers, you name it, the shells, the corals, everything. Fibonacci is throughout design in nature. The reason why I say this is because it's also, oopsie, scrolled in too fast. It is also baked into the algorithms that are inside of the high frequency HFT trading bots that move the markets in a big way. So what does that mean? So we can get in here and use all these different Fibonacci tools, one being a Fibonacci retracement tool, which I'll show you firstly. So I'm going to show you two things. Firstly, I'm going to show you how price expands and then retraces. So this right here is the COVID dip. This is what happened in the sell-off when COVID was announced. We had prices tanking for a couple of days. So going from that low point, clicking and dragging up in line to the high of that market. And if I drag it across just to see what's up, you'll see what I mean. And so if I drag that across, you can now see price expanded to this top level. And because we're in logarithmic, I'm going to actually take that off for a second just to show you in regular what this looks like. So in regular form, that's what price change looked like. Price exploded nice and aggressively. It pushed up. We can measure from that low point. Price went up how much? 1,600%. So if you bought in at crypto and some Bitcoin when it was 3,900 at the bottom of that COVID dip, and you held onto it for 609 days, so about 2.5 years to the height of this run, 1,649%. That's a 16x if I get my math right. So yeah, basically to the high of 68,000 that we got up to there. That was that run. Then what happened? Then price pulled back, right? You can see, price after that run pulled back a little bit, and then from there expanded again. Then what can we expect? We can see these levels here that price pulled back 12.4%, 23.6%, 38.2%, 50%, and 61.8. And 61.8 is actually referred to as the golden ratio in Fibonacci. It's the number associated with pi. I'm sure most of you might twitch a little bit if you think about math class, but that is pi. And then further down, we hit the sweet zone down here called the 786, 886 zone. And what do you know? Price stopped on it almost like a dime, got into it a little bit, and then exploded from there. And then how do you know that the bear market was pretty much over? Well, if you just drew one simple trend line and knew how to do that, connecting high point to high point, as long as you've got a new low point, once we broke above that, we never returned to those lows. And so from there, what has price done since then? Well, since then, since that low of December 2022, today, price is up 315%. So not bad. It's a pretty good investment. I think most properties would take a few decades for that to happen. So if you bought in a Bitcoin, even then, back in December 2022, you could have still been up significantly. So I'm going to delete this right now and show you another way to draw this tool. And then I'm going to show you, like I said on the promo for tonight, where we can expect crypto to go in this cycle. So drop cycle in the chat if you're with me. And I'm going to get into logarithmic mode again. And there we go. So zooming out, you can see the halvings, right? These cycles that are here. So let's go to the first one. Let's go to this high down here. I'm just going to double click, make it automatic so it scrolls nicely. There we go. So we had this cycle here that started at the inception of Bitcoin. Price ran up from, as you can see, as low as 6 cents up to this high of $31 and down to this low of $2. Now that would have been quite an extreme pullback, right? Like from 31 down to $2, that's a 93% pullback. Well, guess what? In the world of crypto, that's not an unheard of pullback. But what we can learn from that is we can take our tool, draw it from high point to low point, and watch what happens. So that does this. I'm going to double check. I've got some settings ticked on here under style. I have not got them on here. So I'm going to tick 1.618 and I need to tick 236, which I haven't got on here. I've just opened up a new window in TradingView. So 2.36. And let's give these some colors. Let's just make that one gold and make that one green so they stand out. And then I'm going to change my Fibonacci tool into logarithmic scale so it actually behaves itself in log, which we're in right now. So what happened then? Price did the retracement thing, started the new cycle. After the halving, price did what? Went sideways for a little while, which we're experiencing right now, by the way, and then price exploded. Now, where did it explode to? So let's have a look. We've got the 1.618. So that is 161% basically of an expansion in price. So just like we talked about things growing and expanding in Fibonacci, same things happen in the markets. So this is the adoption of an asset. Bitcoin is not just a coin, it's not just digital gold, it is also a new asset class. And so with that, this is the adoption of it. So what happened? So price, if we just draw a horizontal ray to show you, 1.618, what happened at that level? Well, look at that. Price pretty much stopped and closed underneath that on the weekly levels. And then what happened? Price kept going to the two, is that right? Yep, 236. That for some reason looks a little weird, the numbers, but look at that. What happened at 236? Oh, wow. Where did price stop? Okay, so price perfectly expanded to the 236. That is the height of the next market, retraced. Interesting where it retraced to as well, the 1.618, and then expanded into the next cycle. And so we've got there, okay, so price has expanded to 1.618, paused, gone to the 236, paused, and retraced, and then gone again. So what happens in the next cycle? Let's take a look. Let's see this. Let's see if history is going to repeat or at least rhyme. Same thing. Tool from the high point to the low point. Let's see what we got. So at this point here, we have got, there's the 1.618. So we did a little bit of a pause, but really we smashed, we kind of got above it, retested and broke above. Did we get the 236? We sure did. And in the next cycle there, let me look at this guy. This is 4 years between these lines, by the way. So as you can see, price then continued to ran up to the 236 and then continued back down. Look at that. Interesting how it again tapped that level, guys. And then we're in this next cycle. So what happened in the next cycle? Let's do it again, right? Between 2016 and 2020, from the high point to the low point there. I'm just going to drag it across so we can see it a bit better. What happened? So this is where we are right now. Check that out. Well, this was the previous cycle. I'll keep it on that and I'll draw a line. And so there's the 1.618. Look how price respected it perfectly. Now, we did not get a 236 on this last cycle. I'm going to tell you why. So in these previous cycles, China was allowed to participate in cryptocurrency. Funny story, every single time China bans it, which is about 755 times, it's actually more like 17. Every time they ban it, they buy it behind the scenes. But right now, what we're looking at is China was very present in these cycles. They made up for at least almost half of the network with the miners. So in this cycle, this next one here, between 2020 and 2024, China was not present. And so price only expanded to 1.618. But can you see how freakishly predictable that price expansion was to the 1.618? And then the pullback, and then broke above, and then we had the bear market that started. So, pushed on the button. So we didn't quite get all the way as high as we thought we would for the 236, but what do we have right now? So this is our next cycle that has just completed itself. We've just had the halving back in April, and let's draw so we can see where we can expect to go in this next cycle. High point to low point. There we go. So let's draw our first line on the 1.618. That is saying 173,000. If you can't see that, let's just get rid of this previous one so it's out the way. What about the 236? Since China, by the way, is allowed to participate, again, very into the system this time around, that is saying, that is different for some reason right now. I think I've drawn something in the wrong place, but that is saying 452. I need to just check that everything is where it should be in terms of highs and lows, but in previous times when I've drawn that, it's been above 500,000. Something might be wrong on the fib that I noticed, because 2.226, someone should have spotted that, guys. 236, excuse me. All of these are going to be mildly off. So anyway, well, this is the main one that counts, right? 236. See how much of a difference it makes? Just 100,000 or so. 236 is the Fibonacci number that we are looking for. So as you can see, 525,000 is a realistic prediction point for Bitcoin in this next 4-year cycle. So my question for you is, what are you doing, or what beach are you sitting on? What Lambo are you driving in March 2028? So obviously the price doesn't tap out at the end of that 4-year cycle. It is inside of these cycles that we get the high. So the first high in that next cycle came in November 2013. So you can go and measure from halving point down here, the dotted line, across to the high. You'll see that that is 357 days. So you can get into this, guys. You can measure in time. So from the halving to the high, 553 days. And it is round about that 500-day mark. So from the previous, there we go. We've got the halving there. We've got, sorry, the high there. That was 546 days. That's again pretty close. So if we're measuring 500 odd days from the halving that we've just experienced, where does that put us? That puts us somewhere around November next year, October, November next year. So October, November 2025, we've got other ways of telling if we are peaking out in the market. There's a lot of different ways. I mean, this double top right here with divergence on a MACD was one way we could tell. At the same time, you've got all sorts of other things like pi cycle tops, etc. But I'm not going to get into that tonight. Tonight, I wanted to show you that looking at this, hopefully you are a little less scared about the crypto space and what is possible and just how predictable these levels can be. I'm gonna take that fib off so you can just see this is where we're at right now. This is today. The price of Bitcoin is 69,000 US dollars for one. And I'm sure we all wish that we came back and bought some down here or down here or down there in crypto. Could have, would have, should have. I should have done this. I should have done that. You keep saying I should have, and you will should all over yourself. We are not here to be doing that. We are here to participate. We are here to be inside these markets and take advantage of what I believe is the fastest, not I believe, actually, this is straight up the fastest growing asset of the last decade. So nothing has come close to the growth and expansion of Bitcoin in the market. So that's a little bit about Bitcoin, guys. There's other projects I'm going to show you later on. I've got one up my sleeve, but for tonight, wanted to, have this kind of conversation, show you practically on a chart, what does it look like? What does the price and expansion and adoption of an asset like Bitcoin actually look like? And so hopefully you got some value from that. There's a whole lot more coming. For this next section, I want to bring on someone that is no stranger to our community on the inside. He has been inside the crypto space for many, many years. He has consulted and contracted and won awards from Ledger. If you don't know what Ledger is, they make the little thumb drives which we use for security. They're called cold wallet storage to keep your crypto safe. He's added so much security protocol and help to different communities in the crypto space that Ledger acknowledged him and gave him an award for that. So you're hearing from someone with real world experience in the space, real world results. And it is my absolute pleasure to introduce to you Damon Booth this evening. So my man, let me find you in the chat. If you unmute yourself, it'll be a whole lot easier. There we go. Pin you to the screen and let's have some fun, bro. Thanks so much for jumping on tonight and giving us your time. I'm pumped, man. Just stoked to have you with us this evening. And I know that you've always got value to share. And I'm just going to drag my Zoom window a little bit wider so I can see us here. But thank you, bro. Thank you for giving us your time. And, to kick us off, we want to be fluid tonight, maybe go backwards and forwards, but I thought continuing the conversation of, we're all learning from the same educators. We've been around a while. We know these projects, but to help the average person that's pretty new, what projects are you excited about and why? I mean, we can look at, the top 10, things like that, and we might even look at some things that are different layers to the top 10. But, what stands out to you right now and why? And we'll just go backwards and forwards and talk about some different projects maybe on the list on CoinGecko and take it from there. So guys, drop some fire emojis in the chat for Damon. Let's get it.
What's up? What's up? Thank you so much for the introduction, man. I mean, yeah, like today is going to be a little bit more of a free flow conversation. Me and Ty are going to go back and forth. We're going to do a little bit of Q&A. We're going to switch things up a little bit today. Really cater to you guys, at home. At the last event, I know Ty got a lot of questions about, what to invest in, what kind of coins are good when you just get started, what's good for me. And I think today we're just going to talk a little bit about that, right? So, I mean, yeah, drop a 222 in the chat if you were at the last event on Sunday. Nice. I see a lot of you guys were there. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I mean, personally, for me, I'm looking at a few things in this space. I'm not going to go make it too difficult. So I guess when you're looking into crypto, I mean, you're looking into, accumulating assets, and when you're new and you started watching the classes and you're ready to start investing, I think the most important thing for you to do is, where do you think that you want to be in the future? That's a very important thing, because how you build your portfolio is mainly with projects that you really like. So projects that, make sense for you. If a project doesn't make sense for you, for example, you could buy gaming projects, right? But if you're not really a gamer and you don't really see how gaming can explode, and you don't really know much about it besides a few people talking about gaming, then maybe that's not a good choice for your portfolio. But if you're into gaming, and you're like, wow, let me grab a little, you can do some research, you can get into some gaming coins. And the same goes with security, with RWAs, which is real world assets. You got just many different avenues in crypto that you can look into, like DeFi, metaverses. There's so many things. And I guess looking at what speaks to you to most in these classes, like when Curtis sharing or when Mike's sharing or Nick Gomez, and then be like, oh, I really liked what they just said. I really like what they just talked about Ondo, like I really like real world assets. I like EWT, like real world assets on DOT, these things. And if that speaks to you, go do a little bit more research, right? It takes 10, 15 minutes and really dive deeper into those. And I guess for me, it's, I I got a few plays that I'm playing out myself this run. I won't dive into it immediately, but I'll share this. With Ethereum, if you look at Ethereum's market cap is like 400 billion, something like that. Now, Ethereum's altcoins or Ethereum's layer twos and the projects built on Ethereum, let's just make it really simple. Projects built on Ethereum, they've, gained quite a lot of traction last cycle. Even now, there's a lot of them that are, increasing their market caps, but there's still a few that are in the lower market cap numbers. But now, if you look at a different chain, like a different cryptocurrency chain, like a big one, such as Solana, for example, you can see that a lot of the projects on Solana, like the projects that actually have utility and have something to show and have a big future, looking at those, they're very low in market cap right now. And if you missed the boat with Ethereum in the past 5 to 10 years, I mean, looking at a new upcoming crypto could be a very good way for yourself to get started, at least to allocate like 10-20% of your portfolio. And I think it's important. I see someone saying in the chat, Jupiter. I couldn't agree more. If you guys are familiar with Ethereum and decentralized exchanges like Uniswap, and we all saw, or most of you guys that are on the classes, how high Uniswap went. It went from pennies to like $50 US. I guess like looking at something like Jupiter, that's going to be one of the biggest decentralized exchanges on Solana. That could be something maybe we could look into, right, Ty? What do you think?
Sounds great, bro. Sorry, I was on mute. I love that. Yeah, I mean that's going that direction. I mean, now I'll do this right before we do that. Let me share my screen one more time and give guys some visual context for one more website they can also take advantage. So share my screen, guys. CoinGecko.com. This is a site that all of our educators reference on a daily basis, because on here you can come and see, right, there are 14,000 different cryptocurrencies or crypto projects out there. So 99% of those are probably going to turn to nothing. Some of them are scams. There's 1,100 places where you can go and buy it. The total market cap, $2.6 trillion. That is still tiny in terms of the finance that is in the world heading in this direction. You can see the Bitcoin dominance. That means that 51% of that total market cap is in Bitcoin right now. 16% of that is in Ethereum. And so when you're rolling down, you're going to see Bitcoin is number one. Why is it number one? Because it's got $1.3 trillion in it. So ranked by market cap, you got Bitcoin at the top. Then you got Ethereum coming in next. That's a different blockchain, a different crypto network. Then Tether is always going to be at $1 because that is a stable coin that always stays at $1. So if you're putting your dollars into Bitcoin and you think it's about a dip, you might then just swap it into something like, well, not Tether. Let's go with USDC, a different stable coin, to lock off those gains while Bitcoin turns around. Then you got other things, BNB, Solana over there. We talked about $72 billion. That thing is just charging. You got XRP down here. Not even going to talk about that tonight. There's so much. We could spend classes talking about that. Cardano, all these other things, SHIB, you're going to find a dog with a hat and a crow with a knife somewhere down here at some point. But these are all the different projects that we're talking about and different opportunities. Casper, we might get into that later on. But for now, just want to show you this website because we're talking about a couple things. When we talk about these projects, the total market cap is a big deal. This is what we call tokenomics. You're going to see I'm not going to get into diluted supply, circulating supply. That is how much is in supply right now, circulation. Total supply, max supply, real big deal, 21 million. There will never be more than 21 million Bitcoin. So that is why this is an incredible hedge against inflation. Because when there is less and less of something, it is worth more, right? And when there's more and more of something, it is worth less. So we can see, I mean, this is just the 24-hour. If I put this on max, you're going to see there we go, it's a better looking chart. But this is how we come here and take a look and start to actually look at these projects. And so next up, I'm going to tee up Damon to maybe take a look at Solana or wherever he wants to bounce to. But in there, you're going to see some of the facts, right? You're going to see, okay, it hasn't got a max supply, but there are some things about it that still make it very attractive in terms of its speed and utility, things like that. So I'll unshare, get it back to you, bro. But just to give everyone some context of, what we're talking about, like all of these projects, they offer things to the world. They are real companies that have got real technology that are basically listing themselves in a different way. They are putting themselves on a blockchain, which is a different form of tech that we are yet to, I mean, Web3 is the conversation around that as well. And I love how you describe it, re-describe it if I get this wrong. Web 1 would have been the way that we interacted with the internet to go and consume information. Web 2 would have been the birth of things like social media, where you can put some information onto the internet. Web 3 is ownership. And it's a whole new thing that well, it's been around a while, but it's starting to explode in a much bigger way. And so crypto and blockchain is the technology at the core of that. And so these different networks, these different blockchains, I don't want to call them different internets. They're just different opportunities to build on top of. At the same time, they are companies. And as people adopt the use case of those companies more and more, they increase in what? Value. And so just like you might decide to invest in Air New Zealand or Tesla or Netflix, whatever the thing is, you're doing that believing that that thing is going to continue to grow in value. And so with crypto and with these certain projects right now, we are early. These companies are not babies because they've been around a while, for some of them for a very long time, and they've already got a crazy amount of contracts in place. I might talk about flow later just to give you some context. But bro, back to you. What do you think about Solana? Let's just start there.
I mean, Solana, man, like Solana has been on my watch list for a while. I've been watching it since last bull run. I mean, like for those that were early, like Solana, like you could see it at pretty much nothing, grow the way it did last bull run, come all the way back down to like what, like $9-8, and then now being back up like at these levels. I think right now it's like 150, but I think it went even higher, like 190 or something, close to $200. But man, like Solana is one of those projects that, you got opportunity. I think when people realize that, Solana is way more scalable, it's super scalable. It's probably not, as decentralized as Bitcoin. It's probably not at all decentralized. You got very centralized, how it is, and there's not much security, like in Solana. I guess if you're looking at the trifecta, we're not going to go into that too much, but if you're into cryptocurrency and you're in the classes, you know what I'm talking about. But for example, like Ethereum, you got security, you got scalability, but Solana, like I don't know if anyone's paid attention, but the amount of transactions per block and per second, it's crazy. And even though, and this is some things that you can look out for when you're researching tokens. When you have a coin or a token or a project and it goes dark, for example, there's an outage or there's something wrong with it, or it goes down and you can't transact it, usually that's a sign that take your crypto out, take your money out. This is not working. It's dangerous. I can't swap my Solana out. I just transferred, but it keeps saying, failed transaction. Solana's had this quite a lot in the past year. Solana keeps getting outages, but the price is not dipping. It's actually rising. So that means that there's a huge community behind Solana. And one thing that you guys will see this bull run is community run tokens, community run projects. Like there's a lot of things going on right now with the meme coins. The thing that drives those projects is community. Community is the number one thing that decides what's going to happen. I don't know if anyone's been watching the news, but there was this one guy, and he invested in the, what was it, the CME, the GME stock, last cycle, turned $53,000 into something like $43 million. He's back. His name is Roaring Kitty. He did a Zoom or whatever. He did like a live stream yesterday. 600,000 people watched it. Like we're live. Like I just need you to understand what's happening. The shift is happening. No news station in the world, no advertisement station in the world could ever do something like this. So things are definitely shifting. Community is definitely one thing that is going to lead moving forward, especially in crypto as well. So wherever the community rallies behind, that's what's going to grow, because the people are reclaiming power back, because we are in the masses. And I think looking at Solana, so let me just go and quickly share my screen. Let's see if I can share this. Okay. Let me know if you guys can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see you, bro.
Awesome. Sorry, I was watching class before. Let's see. So Solana, if we go here. So this is something that I'm, really bullish on, and I'm looking into it. And bullish pretty much means I'm having high hopes for it. Let's just put it that way. I think it's going to grow really well, Solana. I think Solana can definitely go to $500 a coin. Of course, it depends on what's going to happen in the run. But if it does run, we could definitely see a $400 or $500 Solana, maybe even 600. I'm not going to go and guess any higher amounts, which could happen, but we're just going to keep it at the base minimum, right? So if you look at this website, you can see Solana Mobile. And for those that are just newer, for those that have been in here, but aren't really advanced, Solana has already dropped a phone before, the Solana Mobile. Now, people, when they bought the phone, I think it was like last bull run, they got like a allocation to this airdrop, which gave them a little bit of money as they bought the phone. So they pretty much got the phone for free, I guess, because they could sell the tokens that they got for free, and they had a partnership, and it was this whole thing. Now Solana Mobile 2 is on its way, and Web3, like never before. And I might sound like a billboard right now, but this is going to be game changer, because you heard of the App Store, but have you ever heard of a dApp Store? Right? A decentralized app store. Now think about your favorite decentralized apps. I don't know if you guys use them, but you got things like, Uniswap is a dApp. You got so many different things, Jupiter. Let's go down and let's see. So they got the seed vault. So pretty much if you want to sign transactions and stuff, you can just do it with your finger, with your fingerprint. You can set up things. Your seed phrases will never leave the vault. It's very encrypted, very safe, the way they're doing it. Build on SMS today. We're gonna go into that in a bit. But yeah, pretty much you get a premium hardware experience. It looks pretty cool. Looks like an iPhone, I guess, but with Android. So I guess they put the two of the best together. And let's see if I can go to the next one. So here, a dApp store that puts dApps first, so decentralized apps. So can anyone tell me what they can see here? Anything that stands out here?
See a Phantom wallet.
Yeah, I see Phantom too. Jupiter. Ooh, isn't that nice? So, think about the things that are coming to this, right? And if, while we're on the dApp Storm, we're gonna, look at this little bubble right here, which is text messages. Now, for example, for your average phone, you got your Vodafone, or which is One Mobile now, I guess, and you got 2 degrees, and you got, I don't know the other ones that are out there, but that's pretty much what, normal phones are using right now. What Solana is going to be running on, and this is where it's exciting, is helium. So I don't know if you guys have been looking into helium mining, but you can pretty much buy a helium miner, which comes with a large antenna. You can put it outside your house. You can only have like 1 helium miner per, area and per ratio. And all the phones will be pinging off of those, poles. And later on, as crypto grows, you're going to have, instead of 2 degrees, 2 degrees is working with helium and stuff like that. Partnerships are already happening in the States and other countries, where other countries, major networks are already using helium, but not going to go too deep into that.
But
yeah,
pretty much here, bro. There's someone in our team that's got a miner. I know all about it.
Oh, nice,
You can
nice.
actually participate in building the grid here. Like it's
Yeah,
great.
exactly. Oh, that's so cool. I mean, he definitely should have a, Solana phone,
He
I
was at
guess.
the event. I'm not going to give him away, but he was there on Sunday night.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, no, it's crazy. I know this one girl, I think she was, I don't know, in 2020, she had like one of the largest helium mining like places in New Zealand. She had like 20 or 30 miners. It was crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, like for example, if we look at, like text messages, right now we send text and it's all connected to the phone, and, pretty much anyone can access anything at any given time. And you never know if it's a scam text or whatever it is. Now we're looking at something like Soul Chat. I mean, Ty, what do you think about Soul Chat? I mean, like,
Oh, bro, like there's so much opportunity. I mean, that's the thing. Like we're talking right now about Solana, right? And it's if you believe in Solana, you're gonna believe in what is gonna be built on it and the use case for that. So it's crazy. We're early. It is obviously in the altcoin category in the terms of like the market cap being very low. I mean, 27 million right there is nothing. That's peanuts. So basically, guys, if the market cap doubles, so does the price. So if you invested right now and you bought Soul Chat at $3 and the market cap went from 27 million to just under 60, the price of Soul Chat in theory would then be $6. So you would have doubled your investment. and $27 million in crypto is like a sneeze. So yeah, we're early, guys, and yeah, I love it. Doubles, like we're here playing the game of doubles. We are here to double our money. Spoke all about that at a live event. Educators talk about it all the time, but yeah, man, it's amazing. It's again with these low cap coins, low market cap coins, we do not bet the whole farm on them. We delegate what we're comfortable with, but usually in the the 1 to 5%, maybe 10% of our accounts, depending on how brave you are. But you never invest anything you're not prepared to lose. But yeah, that's how you approach these kind of projects. But they are the ones that do have the biggest potential, but they also carry the biggest risk. So putting a little bit in there is an amazing opportunity. But yeah, what do you got there, bro? You measuring that previous market cap?
I mean, we were talking about a doubles game, but like by the looks of it, 27 million to 150 million, like this project's really new, February 13. It's already more than doubled. It's doubled, doubled, and then doubled, and then doubled some more. So
but roll down and see the percentage that it's down right now. If you just scroll down a little bit more there.
But that's not always accurate. I've never found this really accurate. Like it's always at like 80%.
Yeah, you would say now is a pretty dang good time to buy. But not financial advice, guys. We just want to show you what's possible. But yeah, cool.
I mean, like just to put things in perspective, I really want to show this. Let's go to Bitcoin. Let's take it very, very easy and simple. I know a lot of people always have questions like, how can I make a lot of money in crypto? How does it really work? Can everyone see here the market cap of Bitcoin? 1.3 what is it, trillion dollars?
It's a T.
It's a T. It was in the billions.
Not an M. It's a T.
It's crazy. I know, right? So if Bitcoin, the price, which is like 68,000 almost, and this is US dollars. My charts are never in New Zealand dollars. So if you see that and you want to see this price double, this market cap needs to be at $2.6 trillion. So I just need you guys to understand how much money actually has to flow in. And this is easily going to double this bull run, just letting you know. But there's a lot of money coming into this space. But if we go back to Soul Chat, so rumor has it that Soul Chat has a partnership with Solana Mobile, and that the official chat, the text message on the Solana Mobile is going to be Soul Chat. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I like to be early, like if someone came up to me and be like, yo, you want to invest in the Apple iPhone? I'll be like, yeah, I'd love to. Or, you can invest in the App Store. I would love to invest in the App Store, but we're not in those circles, but we are in this circle, and we're in a pretty good circle, let me tell you that. So Lisa, it's Solana Chat, so Soul Chat, so not Solana Mobile. We're not gonna invest in the Solana Mobile. I don't think we can. You can invest in it by buying one and see what you can do with it. But yeah, the Soul Chat. So right now, $26 million in market cap. It's insane. It's low.
That is low.
Could run like this, could rip this bull run. And what Ty was talking about before, and also at the event, was what makes sense for your portfolio and what are you looking into? Where are some places to get started in? Now, these are low caps. I don't recommend you to go in and build your portfolio around this, right, Ty?
Yep. It is the 1 and 2 and 5%ers of allocation. You've got to decide personally, but yeah, that's the riskier stuff, guys.
Yeah, I mean, personally, like I'll be honest, I got like close to 20% of my portfolio into Solana and Solana ecosystem. Just to let you guys know, like what I'm doing. I'm betting pretty big on Solana and ecosystem because I feel like a lot of us have already missed out on those crazy gains that you could have with Ethereum. For example, getting in on Matic before the last bull run, and getting into Uniswap, when it was launched, and then, riding it up to 50 US, like all of this stuff. Right now, we got this same opportunity. And if you look at the max supply, the circulating supply and the max supply, I mean, there's no coins to come into circulation to drop the price. I really need you guys to understand this. And then looking at the, fully diluted, it's the same as the market cap. That's extremely good, right? And then looking at the 24-hour volume based on the market cap, 2 million is actually quite nice, and usually during green days, you see this number quite higher, but this is actually a really good project, to check out in. And right now at these levels,
early.
It's a DCA right now. This is a beautiful zone to get into. Not gonna lie, I might have already scooped some.
You don't buy on green days, guys. You buy on red days.
Yeah. On days like these, when you see like this stuff, minus 11%, minus 12, minus 20, those are the days you want to save your money for and then allocate them to DCA in these type of days. That's how the money is being made, not by buying the top, waiting for it to go down and taking your money out because you got scared, right? Now,
when others are fearful, that's when you're allowed to be greedy. And when others are greedy, that's when you should be fearful. So when they're all fearful and selling, that's when we should be buying. That's how it works. Obviously with some other parameters in place, but yeah, if you want what most people don't have, you got to be prepared to do what most people don't do.
100%. And the next one I'm going to share.
Yeah, go on, man. Go. Keep going.
You go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I'm like looking still on the main website for Solana. And have you seen the companies that they're partnering with and the banner that's sliding across, dude?
Oh, let me just pull it up.
Go to the main page on the main Solana website. Like, I mean, the main, solana.com. And when
I always like to find my real websites through CoinGecko. So I always
roll down there just under info. A little bit. There we go. Bang. Yeah. So when you roll down slightly, you're going to see a banner that's kind of rolling across, and you're going to see some companies you might recognize. Yeah. I'm not sure. Has anyone heard of Meta?
Meta, Facebook,
Google. What's Google?
I'm not sure.
Check that PayPal USD on Solana, bro.
So Circle as well. Circle is USDC.
So this is extremely bullish contracts and news and etc. Anyway, I saw that and I just thought it had to be mentioned because Solana is still very young. I actually just drew that Fibonacci retracement on it to see those expansion levels, and yeah, 236 gets us just shy of like $500 for Solana. So it's still Shopify. That's what I spotted. I was like, wow, that gives people the ability to incorporate paying for things with their Solana, because what if your money is worth 5 times as much as it is right now in 18 months time, 2 years time? Well, you actually could be shopping with it. So yeah, we're going to see so many more positive developments like this, guys. And this is an amazing project. And obviously this is not like, we don't work for Solana. We get nothing out of talking to you guys about Solana. We just want you guys to know what's happening behind the scenes, because you can mostly, if you go and try YouTube Solana, you're just going to get a whole bunch of random people telling you very little information about it. They're just going to be screaming about price predictions. But what it is and how it functions, why it's different, it is different. But yeah, PayPal, Shopify.
Yeah, PayPal, bro. They recently just had a partnership.
Dude, so I'm like, yeah. Anyway, sharing this all with you to help make some sense, because like we just showed you, Bitcoin to double in value requires a lot of money, and it will do that. But the thing you got to really start recognizing is the waves of once Bitcoin does its pump, then the value flows from Bitcoin into things like Ethereum and into Solana, and that value then begins to pump all these other coins in a huge way. So anyway, that's a whole nother conversation, but I'm loving this, bro. It's good fun. You guys drop value in the chat if you're enjoying our conversation this evening. Thought we'd do something a little bit different, but yeah, having fun. Cool to see so many of you on here with us, and yeah, hope you guys are getting something cool. Yeah, bro, where you want to go? What's on your mind?
Something that just popped in my mind, like the partnership with Circle. They recently did a partnership with Circle, which is the company behind USDC. And, now you can actually convert your Solana to USDC, Sol USDC. And you can pretty much stablecoin any asset on Solana into your USDC, which is on the Sol chain, but still, you can send it to any other wallet, bridge it, easy. But yeah, like the next project I wanted to go into is, and this is just ridiculous, but Soul Mail. Like, I mean, the market cap's not even on here. Like, let me just go to Dex Screener. Let me just quickly pull this up for you guys. So if any of the market caps, like the market cap is just so low that it's not even on here. So I usually go to Dex Screener. You can actually find everything on here. So if I go to let me find the contract address and copy this, go to Dex Screener, put this in. Here we go, Soul Mail. So we go look at the market cap here. Must be something really, really low.
You just gave them a really good tutorial right there.
Yeah.
I'll go back and watch that.
Oh man, look at this market cap. It's $2 million. Like it's $2 million market cap. Like if someone, like if one of these like wealthy people come in here and just buy 20 million, worth of these coins, like you instantly made your money. It's just insane. Like the opportunity that you guys have right now. And Soul Mail could be, the mail app on the Solana phone. Like, I need you guys to understand how early we are to the projects on Solana. Now, would I say go and buy $10,000 worth of this? Probably not, because this project, something could go wrong. The team could split up. Something happens with their tech and they can't evolve, and the project pretty much goes to zero. So be mindful, guys. Okay, so be mindful. This project could go to zero tomorrow, but on the off chance that it wouldn't, and I don't think it's going to go to zero just yet. This is, if you look at where it is right now, and $2 million market cap, and we go back to the chart, it launched at 0.07 cents, and now it's at 0.002 cents. You could make a pretty good bang, I think, for your buck. If you look at the market cap now, you can't even see it here. Okay, it won't even show how much was in there in the beginning. But yeah, like stuff like this, you just look out for these things. You want to make sure that you're early to these things. Soul Mail, it could go somewhere. Maybe you can allocate a small amount of funds, maybe a small percent of your portfolio, 10% you could put into low caps. So your portfolio should never have more than 10% of low caps. Just don't go all in on low caps, because the way low caps a lot of the times work, and this is more for people that aren't really into crypto too much, they start buying a lot of low caps, and maybe 2 out of the 30, 40 actually go crazy, and they pretty much get the money back. This is how wealthy people pretty much play the game. They come into the space, they put 10,000 here, there, 100K here, there. But the one that goes absolutely crazy makes back the money from all of the low caps that they put money in, and some extra. So if you don't have those funds, I would not recommend you to go and play and gamble like that. But yeah, pretty much low cap means if the market cap's less than 100 million, you got mid caps 100 million to whatever, a few billion, and then billion plus it's like high caps, main caps, I guess. But yeah, another projects, Jupiter, we talked about it pretty much a lot. Let me just show you something like this. If I go to Uniswap, so you guys can understand what could happen on Solana. So if we go to Uniswap, we go to, right now the market cap is 7 billion, so Jupiter could go to 7 billion. But if we go and look into the bull run, so let me go pick up max. So the max here, this is mid bull run. This coin went from $3 back to $1 something, $1.93, and then all the way to $42. And if you look at the market cap, and the market cap was close to $22 billion. And now, am I saying Jupiter's got to go to 22 billion? Probably not. But there's a good chance that a lot of money is going to be flowing into Jupiter because of what they're building, how they're building it, and they are the leading decentralized exchange on Solana.
And some of you might not know what that is, but basically, if you're trying to buy a crypto that's not listed on an exchange like a Binance, like a Coinbase, like an Easy Crypto, you have to go to a decentralized exchange. That is what Uniswap is. That is what Jupiter is. And so Uniswap being the big one of the previous bull run, SushiSwap as well. Jupiter is here, and it's. I mean, where we just saw that logo on that phone, was that on the Sol Chat website or the Solana website, bro?
It was on the Solana mobile website.
So that's like Solana officially then being very, very bold in terms of like their
Oh
show.
no, they haven't shared it officially yet, like through any of their mediums. No,
But
no,
having said that, guys, we're also not showing you anything tonight that our educators haven't shown us first. And so you don't have to bank on our research. We're leaning back on the fact that our educators that have been doing this for like 8+ years and do this all day, every day, they are taking us through each of these projects in detail on our live sessions behind the scenes. So I know a lot of you are on those classes, but if you're not, we're not just pulling random names out of a hat here. These are real deal projects that are bringing use case to the world.
I mean, yeah, like definitely, like looking at everything. So I think what I really want to make super clear is the importance of where we're at right now with Solana, like with the ecosystem projects. Most of us already missed out on all the crazy things that went on Ethereum, or catching Bitcoin early. Right now, it's one of those opportunities that come along and don't come along very often, and the educators have shared that, right? And coming into the space right now, I'm betting heavy on Solana ecosystem projects, so projects built on Solana that will have use case moving forward with Solana, the leading projects in that right now. So like for example, another one, they said Soul Stream. So there's another one called Soul Stream. This is what I mean. It's a
Wow.
red day in the market. It's a red day in the market. And this project had $42 million flow into it in the last 24 hours, and it's up 30%. Like, this is what I want you guys to understand. When everyone is looking at the red days in the market, the wealthy people are looking for opportunity. So this is a perfect example. Soul Stream. You want to have a streaming service on Solana. Imagine streaming like Twitch, but it's on the blockchain. And now, they have a token, SoulStream, and you can get rewarded based on how many viewers watch your stream. And it's just, man, like if I could just show you like this
It's
one,
good,
like
bro. It's good.
SoulStream.
Obviously, we could do this for days, but the idea of this roadmap, guys, that we want to share with you tonight, was just give you a little, like, break it down for those who are pretty new, just to take away the fear factor of what is crypto, what are these coins, what are these names, what do they do. Hopefully tonight you've been able to see that these companies are bringing something to the world. And yeah, man. I mean, maybe drop one more, and then we'll head towards wrapping up sometime around 9ish. But yeah, guys, hope you're getting something. I know a lot of you are following the live classes. Maybe you're not inside the Stocks and Crypto Academy just yet, but I mean, it is a party in there, and it is so fun seeing your names in there, interacting, having jokes, and learning from the guys. But we just wanted to we really just place a lot of value in helping as many people as possible grasp this information, because it's info that'll seriously change your situation. So go for it, bro. What is that, Neon?
I mean, Neon EVM. So EVM pretty much is an Ethereum virtual machine. I'm not going to go too deep into what that is, but here it's pretty much this, like stuff like this, getting into these kind of projects early is very good. Because, for example, let's just read this a little bit. So Neon EVM is an Ethereum virtual machine empowering developers to build and deploy decentralized apps seamlessly from EVM chains to Solana. So pretty much when you have, your apps and stuff on Ethereum, you can now actually, you can let them communicate with Solana ecosystem and blockchain. So this is like super cool. And you don't need to go and create, the new coding with the Solana code and everything. No, you can just keep them on Ethereum, and now you can bring it over to Solana. This is like game changer. So you don't have to build your entire app again. You can just, put it on Solana too. And now it can, interact with each other, communicate. Looking at something like this, like Neon, teachers talk about Neon quite a lot. But look, again, it's up almost 10% today, 9% today. Like, this is the stuff. Look at this. Like, that's just from today, right? Like, it's insane. Yeah, market cap 50 million. I guess the last project I kind of want to, leave you guys with, and which is not a Solana project, is Casper. Like the educators talked about Casper. I'm not going to go too deep into what Casper is, who this guy is, and everything. But you look at this guy, Jonathan Sompolinski, and he's pretty much a genius in crypto. So he's the guy behind Casper. He's one of the co-founders, and this dude has created so many protocols. Like, just a quick Google search away, like, shows you how many protocols this man has made that literally helped the crypto space be to where it is at today. Like projects like Ethereum, like, it's insane, right? So, he's the guy behind Spectre Protocol. Just Google it, Ghost Stack Protocol. He's the guy behind Phantom Protocol, the DAG consensus, and the Block DAG Protocol, which is, you research Casper and you'll find out what it is. But yeah, basically, so variations of Ghost, so the Ghost protocol, an inclusive blockchain protocol, have been used in the Ethereum. So think about that. This guy is literally the guy that they go to when they want something working in the crypto space, and he goes and helps them out with their protocols, and he builds it all out. Now this man, the reason why most of these cryptocurrency projects are running the way they're running is because of this guy. And now this guy is coming, and he built his own blockchain. Like, he built his own, man, like he is doing something. He's got a solution to the trifecta. Now the trifecta is, scalability, security, and decentralization. And he is the person that's literally combining those three together. Now, no other cryptocurrency has ever done that before. Like Bitcoin, it's not scalable. You know, it's decentralized and it has security. You know, you got Ethereum, like I'll show you guys a chart soon. But you know, this person is like a genius when it comes to crypto. And looking at Caspa being at 15 cents, this coin could like definitely run to $1. And we're thinking, like, I mean, probably the teachers haven't shared it, but this could run to $3 to even $10 if we get a super cycle. Now, I just need you guys to understand what this can do, because if I bring up, let me see if I can quickly share this photo, and then I'll just hand the mic over to you, Ty. Here we go. So this is the blockchain trilemma. So you got, you know, Bitcoin at the top. You know, it is decentralized, it has security, but it's not scalable. And you got, you know, projects like Ethereum, they have security, they have scalability, but they're not decentralized. Same with Ripple, same with Avalanche, same with Cardano. Then you got Solana, you know, low security, no decentralization, very scalable. Now, Caspa figured out the way to have security, decentralization, and scalability, the trifecta that they have been trying to figure out for decades. This man's figured it out, and he started Caspa. And I think moving forward, Caspa can definitely be a top 10 project. Yeah, with that, I hope you guys had value. Like, I appreciate you guys, you know, taking the time and being on this. And I don't know if we have time for a little Q&A. I don't know, up to you, Ty.
Bro, let me show a couple things and we'll get the Q&A flowing soon. But my gosh, guys, drop value in the chat if you got some value from Damon right there, because bro, that was gold. I mean, Casper, yeah, there's so much. If you're not a part of the inside of what we're learning and you just found out about Casper for the first time, you know, yeah, well now you do. It's a huge deal. So I want to show a couple more things because and I'll keep you there, Damon, if I can. I don't know. Let me check. Well, let me check. Wait, I need to figure out actually how to let me unpin you for a second, just in case it takes the screen. But what we were just on about was this. So, guys, the reason we know this stuff is quite simply because we've been plugged in to this app. So, swipecoin.im is a website. It's also an app on your phone. Go and download this app right now. You might not be able to log into it if you don't have access, but just to show you, like, here's our educators telling us synthetics. It's coming back into a zone. Synthetics has been around a long time. You know, here's a zone to buy synthetics. That's where you could look to take profit. We're not going to get into the details of taking profit strategies, but, you know, say you put in $100 down here. When it gets to this level, you might take 50% of that out. When it gets to this level, maybe you take 20% out. Maybe you take another 20% there, and maybe you leave the final 10%, if my math is right, to just keep going and hold for long term. So our educators send us these investing ideas under exchange ideas to build a portfolio. So they've already told us about SolChat. They've told us about SolMail. They've told us about Kusama. Oh my goodness, we didn't even talk about Polkadot. We might just have to, well, we know what we're doing next week. All these other companies in here, XRP, there's Neon. I mean, so they're throwing us all these plays. They're also throwing us day trading ideas where you can get little plays that you can run on day to day and take little small swipes at the market in a different style. We're not going to get into the detail of that, but these guys are on fire. I mean, their results are in here. They back them up. If you don't know what a pip is, it's just a point in the market that we measure the movement of price. But as you can see, they're sending us these ideas. They're communicating to us as well under chats. Like, say you're under exchange chat and you're talking about certain projects entering the zone. There you go, XRP is in that zone, etc. You know, Filecoin. They're telling us when projects hit those zones. They're also telling us on leverage chat how to interact with the ideas, like the Ethereum one being active, Sol floating 400 pips in profit. Reduce risk means that you're going to move your stop loss into profit so you don't lose anything even if the market turns around. So guys, that's where we're getting our ideas from our educators. What do our educators look like? Well, they're here on Go Live. This is our website with IM Academy that we learn from. So a lot of us are doing, you know, traditional day trading on the foreign exchange side of things. That, you know, all of these guys are breaking down the markets live for us. A lot of us tune into Dr. Josh Lee and Brandon Boyd. They're live 3 times per day, 5 days a week. So most of us are on there at 5 in the morning, learning with them and utilizing their scanner. I'm not going to get into that tonight, but that's how you can learn to make money every single day, whether the market's going up or down. Stocks and crypto, that is what we've been focusing on tonight. So all of these educators are teaching us live every day of the week, basically. Curtis Cobain and Mike Sotero, these 2 guys are the weapons that we learn the most from, personally. Everything's recorded in case you missed it. Like today's 2 sessions today. Favorite section, like if you're absolutely brand new, you're going to come and watch, you know, Crypto Security 2.0. He did a new one because he did one a year ago. You're going to learn how to buy this stuff, how to store this stuff, keep it safe, so no one takes it away, basically, because there's a lot of bad actors in crypto. Anyway, you can learn about how to draw trend lines and do all those fancy things like Fibonacci that I did earlier. I mean, I spent my first 6 months just consuming this man's content, so I know how it works, and it gives me a lot of confidence. Like, see, when you get educated, you become empowered to actually do something with confidence. And so a lot of us, that's where we're learning, that's where we're applying it. Just wanted to show you that, guys, because that is let me get out of there. Oh, there's helium, right? So I just bunched in helium, and on the global map I just decided to zoom in and see, you know, what's going on with helium. Oh, zoomed in too far. But you probably just saw there that there is a network already being built in Auckland, and if you have a helium miner, guess what? You can actually put that in the roof of your house in certain areas in your city and start building out the network. And when people start to use that network, guess what? You get money just for having that little thing running in your roof. So anyway, guys, this is a real world thing. Like, this stuff is coming for the masses, and we are early. I can't stress enough how early we are. So I probably had something else to say, but that's probably enough for us for now. I can see there's like 16 unread messages in the chat, so just a bunch of fire emojis, mind blowing, love it. Oh, guys, I'm so glad. Like, this was just, you know, this is just another average day for me and Damon chatting with each other, right? Like, we get on the phone, room messenger. This is our community, and if you're not part of our community, here's the simple, honest, raw facts. You are not going to outperform or outgrow the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, whether they're physically around you or you're listening to them. If your 5 closest friends that you listen to or play games with or play sport with or go to the gym with or sit in the cubicle with, whoever they are, you will be the average of them. You'll be the average in terms of the shows that you watch, the travel trips that you want to take, the bank balance probably as well, and your dreams and aspirations for the future. Because if you're not all growing and learning from other people that are further ahead of you in life, you'll be reduced to your experiences that you've had in the past or those closest to you. And that's what I shared on Sunday night. The live event is just learning how to actually harness our subconscious mind, how to reprogram ourselves, because we've been wired for greatness but programmed for failure. Ever since you got slammed in a public school system, more often than not, you were taught by some potentially awesome teachers, but some that maybe are right now. I know some weird things are going on in the school system, and so we're homeschooling all of our kids. I know a lot of other you guys here are as well. And if your kids are in school, that's totally fine. Like, you're still, as a parent, the one who's able to mold their minds, but you got to be aware of the fact that there is a system and they want us to be in that system, to go to school, to get good grades, to go to university, get a bunch of debt, jump into their system and trade a bunch of our time for a little bit of their money. And so that is the play that we are trying to get out of. We're trying to get to a place where we're getting our money to grow for us. And so when our money grows, we can then buy back our time. We don't have to go trade as much of our time at that job. And be able to leverage, you know, money that way. Money was created to make more money. It's not just to pay your bills, but to actually get to a place where you're experiencing that financial freedom. You actually have to come to a place of experiencing freedom on the inside first. There's whatever your external world is right now, I can tell you 1000% it is the result of what you believe about your life and your future at a subconscious level. And the only way to accelerate into a better future is for you to start dreaming at a higher level and get around people that believe in you and believe that what's possible, what we're talking about tonight, is very, very possible. That's why I've traveled the world going to big events with 5,000-10,000 people, like Damon coming to Croatia last year in September with us, Budapest in February. All in, guys. Mexico is happening. Our next big event is in November. We sold 5,000 tickets in 5 days. So that's to go get a bigger venue. So 10,000 plus is where we're going to be in Mexico in November in Monterrey, surrounded by people on this journey, learning together, growing together, listening to people like Bob Proctor, Marcus Seta, Alex Morden. Guys, get into those people, into their YouTube channels, their Go Live channels, get into their books. If you have not listened to Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life by Bob Proctor yet, get that book on Audible. It seriously will do that. And get clear on that future that you want. Get clear on that financial future that you want, the relational aspects of it, your time freedom to be able to travel, to be able to have overflow and abundance and impact, to be able to serve and add value and be generous in extraordinary ways, not just average ways, and to be able to really create some impact in this world, guys. That is what the Fit Life is all about. Freedom, influence, and transformation. Influence can also be impact. Your ability to create freedom for yourself and your loved ones and those around you, to be able to have a positive influence and impact on the world, to therefore transform the world and our surroundings around us. And so if you're keen for the Fit Life and you're keen for some freedom, drop freedom in the chat. And with that, we will transition the evening to the next phase. I don't know if we'll include this in the recording, but let's do some Q&A. If any of you guys have got some questions, we can dive into it. Otherwise, it's after 9. We can wrap it up right there. But if you've got some questions, drop them in the chat. Otherwise, we'll just see you in the group chats, guys. So good to have so many of you glued on here tonight. I see there's been 0 drop-off. And so if you have got questions, drop them in here. Otherwise, drop them in our special crypto conversations thread inside the Telegram chat that we have. All those different segments are there. Get in there, guys. That, you know, Damon's in there, I'm in there, there's others in there that have been in trading for over 20 years. You can tap into us and ask questions, and we're just in this together, guys. We want to see all of you winning on a high level with your mindset, with your emotions, with your body as well, like to get healthy and fit. Like the quickest way to shift your state mentally is to shift your state physically. Get off the couch, go for a walk, go for a run, get some fresh air, get some water, get some cold water plunging happening. That's also another way to shift your state in a huge way. Damon, question: is it still? Let's see. Putting, is it still worth putting a little in BTC at the moment, or wait till we take profit from the alt run and get into the pullback? Okay. You want to answer that one? Go for it, bro. Let's get into the question.
Is it still worth buying Bitcoin? I guess, you know, if we look at the last bull run and how high it went and then how low it came, looking at what's going to happen now, you know, we're going to 170K or maybe even 500K. Looking at the percentage of how much we declined from, you know, last bull run and the previous one is always like similar, like 20, 30, maybe 40%. So if Bitcoin goes to 170, what's a pullback of 30, 40%? You know, what would that look like? If we go to 500%, 500K, what will the pullback be if it's 20, 30, 40%? And mind you, we've had something right now that we haven't had before. We've got massive hedge funds, multi-trillion dollar businesses coming into the space. You know, we got BlackRock, we got ETFs. All of these major companies have come in now this run and are purchasing this stuff up. Even if we're going into the bear market, I don't think we're going to dip the way we've done in the past. And this is something to really, really think about. So I still purchase small amounts of Bitcoin every time I purchase crypto, just to accumulate more and more and more. And yes, when we make all our money and it goes into those stable coins and, you know, the bear market comes again, yes, we can buy even more Bitcoin. So I guess it's the question is yes, it's definitely.
And here's another way to look at it, guys. Bitcoin being the digital gold. Fun fact: Casper's trying to be digital silver. But in the light of Bitcoin, the aim of the game here is to accumulate more Bitcoin long term. So if you go and check out a guy named Plan B on YouTube, you will see how this guy's stock to flow model has been freakishly accurate over the last 5 years. And he has predicted the levels that we have hit. And he predicts that in a cycle, yeah, we'll hit 500K. He predicts the next cycle we'll hit 4 million. Let that sink in. And the next one, 10 million. And you can zoom out and do the math on you know, on whether or not you think that's possible. But the 1 point or 2 point whatever trillion dollars in the total crypto market cap right now is not a lot of money at all. And now with ETFs, stocks, pension funds, all these other companies, other organizations out there, Bitcoin looks better and better and better, especially on a day-to-day where you've got this petrodollar thing falling over. It is just safer. It is more trustworthy. You can see that people want that. And so we're sitting in a unique time in history right now where, yeah, if you're going to be buying Bitcoin right now, it's a long-term play. You're not trying to double your money in the next like 60 days. But the long-term goal you got to think about is, okay, I want to buy some Bitcoin right now that I want to hold forever. Like kind of kids and grandkids, kind of legacy wealth is what we're talking about. And then some of what you buy, you might want to sell and take profits at the end of this bull run. And we are going to be selling. Like, we're not just going to hold everything forever, because Kurt's already showed us, like, there's a Bitcoin dominance chart. We can look at, as that dominance drops, if money is going to flow from Bitcoin into Ethereum and then into the other caps and into the low caps, and we get right to the bottom of that dominance chart, that's probably when we're in the absolute bottom.
Well, exactly what he was saying. That's what happens, you know. This is just average Damon and Ty.
That was so funny. Yeah, we get to the bottom of the bear market, and you probably feel like that at the bottom of the bear market if you didn't sell at the top. Yep. Because you're watching your funds turn to nothing, and you're like, I wasn't paying attention. That's how it feels, and there will be tears, like there are right now coming out my face. But yeah, guys, you got to come up with your own strategy for taking profits, for building a long-term portfolio. And that's what we get to do with our educators. And in here, we can, you know, if you guys are keen for it, maybe we can have an event like that.
Yeah, and exactly like what he was saying. The teachers actually share in the Swipecoin app the levels of take profit, 3 different levels to take profit. I mean, like, if you ever wanted to know when to get in and when to get out, I mean, Swipecoin, like, it couldn't get easier. Like, I know kids that are doing this at a high level. Like, it's insane.
Yep. Oh,
Yeah.
my throat's gone.
No, you're good. You're good. There's one
I
more
almost
question.
didn't do tonight because my throat just felt a little
No,
bit.
you're good. There's one more
Oh
quick,
man,
quick
Damon,
was,
thank you so much for jumping on. If we have got any more questions, there's Etienne, guys. Pay attention to whoever that man posts. He's been in crypto for I think about 8 years at this point. The rainbow price chart, there it is. Yeah, that'll sink in. Guys, we're just early. Like we're really, really early. So pay attention. This is the season to to not be spending your money on all sorts of random things. This is the season to knuckle down and decide to actually become an investor. Dollar cost averaging, DCA, means that you take something out of your paycheck every week and you decide to invest it into something, preferably on a red day, and you decide to actually start building wealth. The reason why the poor stay poor is because they decide their living standard first, then whatever's left they might potentially save, and there's usually never anything else to invest. They don't have the mindset for it. If you're not putting your money into a place where it can grow over time, the most passive way people do this is real estate, but other opportunities like this is how you're actually going to grow wealth. So that's what we're talking about tonight, is starting to actually adopt that investor mindset. So I know I'm speaking to the choir for a lot of you, but some of you might be on here or watching this later and you don't know what DCA means. Guys, we're here to shift and break generational curses on wealth. Like we are shifting things. And so to do that requires thinking differently, acting differently, spending our time differently, learning some different things so that our kids can have a different future to what we had. And at the same time, we're going to experience some fun times and some freedom in our days too, right? That's it. But so good, man. Thanks, Etienne, for dropping that. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in with us tonight. We'll probably have to cut it there. We're getting after 9, getting late. A lot of us are up at 4:30 and 5 in the morning on the charts and doing our thing. So once again, Damon, thanks so much for your time tonight. Man, I'm obviously done. And with that, we'll see you in the chat.
I'd appreciate every single person coming on this call. Thank you, everyone. And with that, let's go.
Yep. Good night, everybody.